All right, talking today with the Best Chef winner for the Arkansas Soiree magazine. So first of all, how do you get that honor, Capi?
Wow, I was completely blown away when I found out about that. The readers of Soiree obviously voted for me more than others. I'm stunned. I really am completely shocked.
You can't buy that kind of thing.
No, you can't. And I'm so grateful, and I really am honored and completely surprised.
Okay, your family has a history in the entertainment and dining industry in Little Rock. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I can, very proudly so. I am the fourth generation in my family to be in the hospitality industry. Starting back with my great-grandmother who ran a hotel in Fayetteville for a number of years. My grandparents had the Hotel Peck, which is now the Legacy in downtown Little Rock, which was the place to dine I guess from about World War II to the mid-70s. My dad also worked there, and then now here I am at Trios.
Okay, so tell me, how did you get into the cooking end of things? Did you like to cook when you were younger?
I was so lucky as a young girl growing up in the Hotel Peck. The food was phenomenal. We had the types of dishes that nobody was serving. I mean, really, truly cutting-edge food back in the 50s and 60s. The first place to serve a Caesar salad was the Hotel Peck after my grandfather made a trip to Southern California, brought that idea back with him, and we had the first Caesar salad in Arkansas. I spent a lot of time in the kitchen eating and learning to cook, and it just was a natural that I ended up doing that in my 30s as a living. Of course, my father and my grandmother tried to discourage me from doing it. They thought that it was a really hard business and the hardest part of the hotel business, but of course that just made me want to do it even more.
Okay, so what was the first, I'd say, real dish that you learned to cook?
The first, I started with desserts. I sort of have a sweet tooth, and I think the first two desserts I made are desserts that we serve here at Trio still. Our flourless chocolate mousse cake that a friend of my grandmother's taught me to make, and the banana delight, and that I made those in junior high school. The first entree, I remember making a Navarin du Printemps, a lamb spring stew out of Julia Child's Mastering the Art of French Cooking Volume 1. That was my first cookbook, and I learned classical French cooking from Julia Child.
Okay, now you mentioned how some of these items have made it onto the Trios menu. How do you decide what goes onto your menu here?
You know, I really like to keep things interesting. I believe we change our menu at Trios more than any other restaurant I've ever heard of. There's some core things that are always on, we can't take off, that are beloved. A lot of the Peck Hotel favorites, like the Peck salad and the strawberry shortcake and the Trios chicken salad, those have just morphed from what they were in the 50s and 60s with a few updates to what we have here at Trios. But what the way things get on the menu is if I like it. We are back there in the kitchen creating all of the time. I have I think, a very good palate. I like to not push the envelope and try to be too weird and too dissonant with flavors. I like to work with the very best ingredients, keeping it simple, as fresh as possible, buy everything I can locally, use only sustainable and wild-caught fish, really concentrate on the ingredients and let them speak for themselves.
Okay, what do you think's the most meaningful compliment you've ever gotten? And that could be from just a family member, a friend, a customer. What really stands out in your mind?
When people say this is their favorite restaurant, that is such an honor to me. There are over 500 restaurants in Little Rock. We have so much competition here, and I have so many people, a number of people that tell me this is their very favorite restaurant. And it is for a number of reasons. It's not just because of the quality of the food, which I take great pride in, but it's the whole vibe here. It's the ambiance. It's the way our staff connects with people. We really treat people like they were guests in our own home. And I think that is difficult to find in 2014 anywhere, but we go the extra mile to remember their favorite dish or their favorite wine or their kid's birthday or their anniversary, and we really try to have an intimate, meaningful connection with people and serve great food at the same time.